Hi guys, Dave Anderson here, Helicool's Helipad. Welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you clicking on this video. I realized just because I'm salvaging doesn't mean that that's what you're doing. You could be wanting to actually pull a U-joint and put a good U-joint in, or you may just have a problem with your drive shaft and nothing's wrong with your U-joint and you want to save it. Well, I'm gonna make Dave's Awesome U-Joint T-Rex tool version 2.0. Stay tuned. I go back and grab that 1/4 inch big piece of steel that I had in the scrap bin, cut the thing out, and get it prepared for some holes the size of the plates that go into the U-joint. Scratches to show you where the flange is going to be, but really I just need it for those holes. I'm going to drill those holes out so that I can stick this flange basically right over the top of that faceplate. Alright, so those are the holes. Those should line up, and they do perfectly. But my intent is to drill not all the way through, a couple small divots here, 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 and here, and then cut in with the angle grinder, and that will be my anchor points for the cable that will wrap around the yoke of the U-joint. Alright, those are the 4 divots onto the angle grinder. Well, although it's a little crude, I think that that's a very good first start. As long as these are strong enough and don't snap, this should be just fine. I still need to get some longer threaded shafts to go up through here so that I can of course there'll be a nut right under here that I should be able to screw against here, and then here I'll have to keep it balanced. But this should raise this whole thing up, which in turn will pull the yoke and lift the cap along with that plate out in one piece. Well, I just got back from the farm store, got some all thread and some fine thread 5/16, and I'm going to finish my mock-up. I wish I could have found a really long bolt that had 5/16 thread, fine thread all the way up, but I couldn't. So what I'm going to end up having to do is I'm going to cut this off with the angle grinder, and then I'm going to weld on, this will be down here, but I'll just put it up here for now. I'm going to weld on some all thread. This is a little bit beefier. This is 3/8 all thread. And I'll weld it to, well, let's say to down here, and then this will actually be the lifting mechanism. Good morning, guys. This device is not going to work. This part is sound, but these wires, it's just solid core wrapped with like a plastic, and yeah, it's stretching like crazy. So last night I picked up some cable. This has 2,640 pounds of pulling strength. I also picked up, this is an unboxing, by the way. I also picked up some deep well 6-point metric I did not see this in the store. The last few times I was there, didn't know it existed. But this apparently goes up to $32. These are about 30 bucks, 29 bucks. You could get, you know, your 20% discount coupon. They come in the mail all the time. So it wasn't bad, not for a full set. Being that they're 6-point, they shouldn't round off those nuts like my 12-point large 3/4 inch drive sockets were. That should help me out. I am going to reconfigure this with the cable and try it again. If this is not a viable way of doing it, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time and money and effort into making it. Well, kind of like everything else, looks like I'm going to have to fabricate, because they did not have the ends that I need to terminate this and prevent this from coming unraveled. So I think what I'm going to do is just slip this inside of this little nut and then weld the nut onto the wire. Have to be careful because this is galvanized, so it's going to be really difficult to grind the galvanized off of this. You just have to kind of be careful not to inhale any of the smoke that comes off of here, because welding galvanized, that is poisonous smoke. So use extreme caution anytime that you are welding anywhere near galvanized. Well, all right, now that I know that this works, this concept works, because these are bigger threads than will fit through this plate. It won't fit through, so what I'm gonna have to do is grind these threads off, and this big fat weld here, so that the whole thing will rise up to about that point. And I have to say, those are some beautiful welds, if I have to say so myself. Well, it is out. That wasn't too painful. Actually, you know, one side was lifting the whole thing, and it was coming out nice and straight, but I didn't want to try to tweak it any, so I made sure that I did both sides. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. It just comes right off. And this guy comes off with the cap attached. Now I'm going to go test it out on Patricia. I think it's going to work just fine. All right, there is the U-joint. I've got it taped up with electrical tape, and it is ready to go into storage. The best thing to do before you take this part off is to mark it with chalk, so you know how it goes back on. But if you pulled it off and you didn't mark it, you know that this flange will line up with the flange in the back. These go in parallel, not perpendicular. Okay, but the best thing is to mark it with some chalk so you know that that is where it came off and that is the balance point. Okay? All right, boys and girls, time for a field test. Just one more thing to point out. The ones on the drive shaft have washers under the bolt, and the ones on the other side of the axle do not have washers. All right, it's all set up. Time to put this in time lapse. Okay, how about we start again? And note to self, might as well put my reader glasses on when I'm trying to weld. I didn't see that this wasn't a very good weld. Also, note to self, don't put your face in front of this while it's under tension. This little nut could pop off at high speed. Pulled one of the caps, there was an extra pin right in the center of the cap. Strange. Pull the other cap, there's one missing out of those pins. The plate was broken off on the one side, which that's no big deal, but that's just weird. It was missing a needle pin or a needle bearing on one side, and there was an extra needle bearing on the other side. Really weird. This thing is no lightweight. It's pretty heavy. Hey guys, well, it was a lot of fun creating that tool. I enjoyed it. I always learn from all of my failures and mistakes and know what to do better next time. I think that is what drove me to basically make tool 1.0, 2.0, and 2.1. The bottom line is, yeah, you can build a tool. I mean, I proved it. Build the tool, couple tools. It'll work. But honestly, a purpose-built tool just for that would have made that thing a whole lot easier. A whole lot easier. So yeah, I'm probably gonna have to go buy me one of those tools, those U-joint tools, if I have to. But hey guys, I appreciate you watching. I hope you got something out of it. Click on the like button if you like the video. Comment, subscribe, tell your friends to subscribe, add it to your playlist. It's all good, and I really do appreciate it. Until next time, guys, you guys be safe, and God bless.